My name is Miguel Garcia. I'm 26 years of age. I went to high school at Sealy High School. It's a small town in Sealy, 50 miles west of Houston. I went to undergraduate at Texas A&M University in College Station. Then I also got a master's degree at Texas A&M University in College Station. Then I came to Oklahoma, in Norman, and went to law school at University of Oklahoma College of Law. And so now I am a practicing attorney, brand new attorney, 6 months old, and I am practicing in the criminal department for Michael Brooks Jimenez PC. At the age of 9, I had just become legal in the United States. I was born in Mexico. So at the age of 9, I decided that I liked the way the legal things worked. There was a way, there's loopholes and intricacies of the laws, and I really, really enjoyed that. So at the age of 9, I decided I was going to be an attorney. I feel like I've always had angels around me whenever it's a critical part of my life. 8th grade, the end of junior high, I had a counselor approach me and asked me if I wanted to go to this program for, relatively minority students who are, on reduced lunch, free lunches, more on the poor spectrum, to go to the University of Texas, work for 4 hours at a college there, and then take a class for 4 hours. And it was called Youth Opportunities Unlimited. So I did that the summer between 8th grade and 9th grade. And after I got out of that, I worked at the LBJ School of Public Affairs 4 hours a day, every day of the week for the whole summer. And then I took geometry that summer. So when I came back to high school as a freshman, I was taking classes as a junior that juniors were taking. I was tutoring juniors in Algebra 2 because I had already taken geometry. I liked the fact that I was able to help out other people and that were younger, older, and just the fact that it gave me confidence in myself. So I think getting a little bit of academic confidence in yourself that you have older people asking you for help has, kind of drove me. And I also knew I wanted to go to the University of Texas. And I knew it, in Texas at that time, if you were in the top 10% of your high school, you would automatically be admitted to any state university. So I applied there in Texas A&M, and I decided to go to Texas A&M. And so I remember my freshman year in college at midterms, you were required to take 2 business classes. It's your math requirement. I remember my midterm grade was a 1.16. And I remember I called home. And I was like, I think I want to quit college, Small. And, at this point, I was the first one to move out from home, go to college. So my parents made a short trip up to College Station and took me out to lunch and then brought me back to my room and then chewed me out and told me that I was going to see this through the end and that I was never going to quit. And so I ended up graduating in 2.5 years from undergrad just because I never took summers off. I never took a winter off. I always tried to take as many classes as possible. And so that, with the 1.5 years left, I went ahead and got a master's degree because I wanted to get my 4 years of experience in college. After that, I always knew I wanted to go to law school, so I applied to law school in Oklahoma. Was pretty much, I think, the best law school that I was admitted into, and so I jumped on that as soon as I could. I know they're a Tier 1 law school. If I'm not the best, I want to be part of the best. And so I think the steps that, life's kind of just given me is, I think people that have always been there are my parents. They've always been super strict with me. The rule of home was, as long as you are living underneath my home, or as long as you're paying gas on my dime, or as long as I'm helping you out with anything, you don't drink. And so I kept that at heart. For family reasons, I had family members that have lost their marriages because of alcoholics. The best advice I got my freshman year in college was from a visiting spokesperson that came into my political science class. And they asked him what the best advice he can give us. And he goes, anywhere you're at, always look for a mentor. Don't tell them you're going to be my mentor. Just go to them to ask for advice. Look for successful people and surround yourself by successful people, and you'll become successful. And so that's kind of been always my motto. And so in undergrad, I found a successful professor, and who ended up being on my committee chair when I had my oral exam for my master's degree. In law school, I found a mentor as well, one of the deans, who recruited me to come to Oklahoma. And now that I'm out practicing law, I have my boss as a mentor and other community leaders that I've also talked to whenever that have been there and done, kind of been in my shoes before. And I talk to them and also keep in touch with the scholarship donor I had at A&M And by the way, I was in the Corps of Cadets at A&M, the ROTC program down there. And thanks to that, I got a scholarship. And the guy that donated the scholarship always took out his scholarship recipients once a semester. And so I still keep in touch with them. Well, he retired at the age of 55. He was an attorney his whole life. And so I still keep in touch with them because he's able to provide insight that, you know, that he doesn't see what I do. And so he's able to provide some pretty good insight just outside my bubble. He's outside looking in. And so he's been very supportive. And so that's something I think has helped me out in my life. Just great mentors. I want to be able to establish good community ties, and I want to move my community forward to to where we're not being oppressed, or if we are or not, but to where we're in a better place. And so, I think down the line, I would like to eventually find a wife, get married, have kids, and raise a family together. But first, I would like to establish myself and not have to worry about financial difficulties once I settle down. So not only do I want to become a community leader, I also want to be able to be financially sound. So when I do have my wife and kids, I don't have to worry too much that I may not be able to feed them. I came here when I was 6. Came to the United States when I was 6, and I've seen my dad work his whole life as a labor worker, making bricks, throwing hot bricks off the lane, making holes with heavy machinery for oil fields. And I've seen him do so many jobs. And so the one advice he always gave me, and it's always in the back of my head, is you came here to succeed. You came here to be successful and only successful. And so while the American dream sounds cliche, the American dream is to be successful, and that is what drives me. Because I mean, we don't come here, we don't come to a borrowed land to diminish it. We come here to make it better, and so that's what drives me.